Hey everyone, Alex here, and welcome to another deep dive.
And I'm Ella.
Today we're tackling something super practical,
Yeah,
figuring out how to arrange a group dinner
in English.
in English, exactly.
Yeah, arranging a dinner with friends can be, a little bit tricky in
Especially
another
if
language.
you're not a native speaker.
Yeah.
So we're going to break down a simple conversation so you
Hmm.
can learn the basic phrases
Yes.
and feel more confident about setting up your own dinners.
And we're using really clear and easy English today.
Yeah.
So this is perfect for beginners.
If it's for beginners.
Absolutely.
All right, you ready to dive in?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so let's imagine two friends, James and Emily, are trying to set up a dinner. I'll be James and you be Emily.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hey, Emily, we should arrange a dinner with everyone soon.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
When are you available next week?
I'm pretty flexible, except for Tuesday.
Uh,
I have a deadline that day.
okay, let me check with the others. Most people seem to prefer weekends, though.
Perfect.
Hey.
Could you create a group chat so we can coordinate everything?
Sure. I'll set one up and send a poll with a few possible dates.
Great. And what about the venue? Any suggestions?
What about that new Italian restaurant downtown? I heard it has good reviews.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so how'd you like our little performance there?
I think we did all right.
Yeah, hopefully it gave you a good idea of how, a natural English conversation can flow when
Yeah.
you're making plans.
Yeah, so now let's rewind and break down some of those key phrases.
Okay.
First up, arrange a dinner. Arrange means to plan or organize something.
Exactly. So when James says we should arrange a dinner, he's suggesting that they plan a dinner together.
It's a simple and direct way to kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you can use arrange for other events too, right?
Oh, totally. Like a meeting or a trip. Yeah. Like, let's arrange a meeting for next week.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. Now, Emily's reply, when are you available? That's how we ask about someone's free time.
Right. So available means free to do something.
Uh-huh.
You can use it in lots of situations.
Yeah.
For example, are you available to meet tomorrow?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So now pay close attention to James's response.
Okay.
He says, I'm pretty flexible.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This is a great phrase to know because it shows you're open to different options.
Yeah, you're easygoing.
Flexible means you can easily change your plans.
Yeah.
So James is saying, he doesn't have a strict schedule.
It's not too busy.
He can probably adjust to what others prefer.
Right. Yeah. So remember that word flexible. It's a very handy word for making plans in English.
Absolutely so important.
Yeah.
Okay, so then James also mentions, except for Tuesday, I have a deadline.
Okay.
This is how you politely tell someone you can't do something on a specific day.
Yeah.
And he gives a short reason, I have a deadline.
Right.
A deadline is a time limit for finishing something important. It's always good to give a reason when you can't do something.
Uh-huh.
It just shows that, you're not just saying no,
Right.
but that you have, an actual conflict.
Exactly. You have something else going on.
Next up, James says, let me check with the others.
Okay.
This shows that he's being considerate of everyone's schedules.
Yeah, he's not just thinking about himself.
It's important to remember that when you're arranging a group activity,
Yes.
you need to think about what works for everyone, not just yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And this leads to the word coordinate, which means to organize things so that they work well together.
Yeah.
So coordinating a dinner means figuring out a time and place that works for everyone.
Exactly.
Emily then suggests, could you create a group chat?
Ooh, good idea.
A group chat is a way to message with many people at the same time.
Yeah, very useful.
Very common for making plans
Very common. Uh-huh.
in English-speaking cultures.
Yeah, especially these days, everybody's on their phones.
Exactly.
So useful to have a group chat.
Yeah. And so remember that phrase, could you create a group chat?
Yes.
It's a polite and helpful suggestion for keeping everyone in the loop.
Absolutely.
Okay, so James replies, sure, I'll set one up and send a poll with a few possible dates.
Okay, a poll. What's a poll?
A poll is a way to ask people to choose their favorite option
Oh, okay.
from, a list of options.
Okay, so everybody can give their opinion.
Exactly. It's a simple way to see what dates work best for most people.
Uh-huh.
So remember that phrase, I'll send a poll.
Yeah.
It's a useful one for planning anything with a group.
Absolutely. Very efficient.
Okay, so now let's shift gears a little bit to
Okay.
the venue
Yeah.
or the place where you'll have the dinner.
The restaurant, yeah.
The restaurant, exactly.
Yeah.
Emily asks, and what about the venue? Any suggestions?
Oh, okay.
So remember venue.
Yeah.
It simply means the place where an event happens.
Right.
It could be a restaurant, a park, even someone's home.
Yeah. Could be anywhere.
Emily's politely asking for ideas about where to eat.
Right.
And James suggests, what about that new Italian restaurant downtown? I heard it has good reviews.
Good reviews. Important.
Reviews are what people write about their experiences at a restaurant.
Right. Like online reviews.
Checking reviews is a very common way to choose a good restaurant,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do that all the time.
all the time.
So James is using the good reviews as a reason to suggest the Italian restaurant.
Exactly.
So do you remember those key phrases, what about,
Uh-huh.
and Habby has good reviews?
Yeah, those are super useful.
They're great for recommending places to eat.
They are, so we'll come back to those important phrases a little bit later.
Yeah.
For now, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
But don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this deep dive. We've got lots more to share, so stay tuned.
Yes, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So let's look a bit closer at, how James and Emily were talking,
Yeah.
not just what they said.
Right. Sometimes the way we say things is just as important as the words themselves.
Absolutely. Like, for example, think about how James starts.
Mm-hmm.
We should arrange a dinner.
Okay.
He's not being bossy or anything. He's making a suggestion.
Right. It's like he's saying, hey, what do you think about this?
Exactly. It's very friendly.
Very friendly way to start the conversation.
And Emily's reply, that's a great idea, shows that she's, happy to go along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if she wasn't sure, she's
Right.
keeping it positive.
Keeping it open.
Yeah, and open, exactly.
Yeah.
So then when James asks, when are you available next week,
Mm-hmm.
he's giving Emily space to,
Yeah.
share her schedule freely.
Totally. He's not pressuring her to be free at a certain time.
Exactly.
So it's all about being respectful.
It is.
And Emily does a great job, too. She says, I'm pretty flexible, except for Tuesday.
Okay.
I have a deadline that day.
Good.
So she starts by being agreeable.
Right.
I'm flexible,
Easy going.
which, kind of makes everyone feel good.
Exactly. Starts off on a good note.
But then she sets a clear boundary,
Yeah.
except for Tuesday.
Right.
Means she's not free that day, no matter what.
No matter what.
And giving a reason, I have a deadline,
Yeah.
makes her response polite and understandable.
It does, yeah. It's always good to be honest about your availability.
Totally.
And a little explanation can help people understand your situation.
Yeah, I think so far James and Emily are doing a fantastic job.
I think so too.
So what happens next?
Well, James says, okay, let me check with the others. Most people seem to prefer weekends, though.
Okay, so he's showing that he values everyone's input,
Yeah.
not just Emily's.
Not just Emily's, exactly. He's thinking of the whole group.
He's thinking of everybody.
And by saying that, most people seem to prefer weekends.
Uh-huh.
He's giving her some useful information
Yeah.
without making any promises.
Yeah, just kind of an FYI.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's keeping things transparent and open
He is very good.
for discussion.
So then Emily suggests, could you create a group chat so we can coordinate everything?
I love how proactive she is. She's not just waiting for James to do everything.
I know, right?
She's offering a solution.
Exactly. And she's being polite.
Yeah.
Could you? Is a lot softer than just saying, create a group chat.
Right. It's like she's saying, would you be willing to do this?
Exactly. And politeness can make a big difference,
Big difference.
especially when you're asking for a favor.
Especially when you're asking for a favor.
And then James's reply is perfect. Sure, I'll set one up and send a poll with a few possible dates.
So smooth.
Yeah.
He's happy to help, and just keeps the planning moving forward.
He does. This whole conversation is so effortless.
Yeah.
They're both being so respectful, so clear and helpful.
Yeah, I think they're both, really working together to make this dinner happen.
They are. They're a good team.
It's a great example of how, you know, good communication
Yeah,
can just make planning so much easier.
absolutely. Great communication is key.
Okay, so let's not forget about choosing the place to eat.
Yes. The venue.
Remember, Emily asked, and what about the venue? Any suggestions?
Ooh, that's smooth.
That's a smooth transition to a new topic.
It is.
She's keeping the conversation flowing,
She is so natural.
and she's inviting James to share his ideas, which I think shows she values his opinion.
I agree. Very nice.
Okay, so then James says, what about that new Italian restaurant downtown? I heard it has good reviews.
Okay.
So he's offering a specific suggestion
Uh-huh.
and giving a reason why he thinks it's a good choice.
Yes, using those reviews.
He's not just saying, let's eat Italian.
Right.
He's thinking about the group,
He is very thoughtful.
trying to find a place that everyone will enjoy.
Yeah, that's important.
So we've heard the conversation, we've broken down the phrases, and now we've seen how being polite and considerate
Yeah,
can really make a big difference.
absolutely. Now let's take a moment to talk to our English language learners specifically.
Okay.
Don't feel overwhelmed. If this seems like a lot to remember,
It's a lot.
it is a lot. The key is to just start small
Yeah.
and build your confidence gradually.
Start with those basic phrases.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when are you available?
Yes.
I'm flexible.
Exactly.
Practice saying them out loud.
Out loud, yeah. Even write them down a few times.
Write them down.
Yeah, get comfortable with them. And then you can add in some of those other phrases like,
Uh-huh.
could you create a group chat?
Yeah. Or what about the venue?
Exactly. And you know what? You don't have to be fluent overnight.
No.
Just take it slow.
Small steps.
Small steps can make a big difference in your English communication.
I think that's a great point.
And you know what? Here's another tip.
Okay.
Try practicing these phrases
Uh-huh.
in a mirror or with a friend.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, the more you practice,
Yeah.
the more natural they will feel.
Okay. Speaking of practice, I think it's time to wrap up part 2.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored key phrases, learned about the importance of politeness,
Consideration.
consideration,
Yeah.
and even shared some tips for practicing your English.
We did it all.
So in our final part, we'll discuss some additional tips and tricks
Yes.
to make your dinner planning even smoother.
Even better.
So stick around.
Yes. And in the meantime, if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, always helps us out.
We're always here to help you on your English learning journey
And we are back for the final part
of our deep dive.
of our deep dive into arranging a group dinner in English.
I know.
We've covered a lot,
We have.
but there are a few more helpful tips that we want to share with you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so what else should we keep in mind when we're planning a dinner with friends?
Well, one important thing is, dietary restrictions.
Okay.
These are special needs that people have about what they can eat. For
Right.
example, someone might be vegetarian
Right.
or allergic to peanuts.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to pick a restaurant and then find out half your friends can't eat anything
Exactly.
on the menu.
Yeah, so a simple way to handle this is to ask your friends ahead of time if they have any dietary restrictions.
Okay.
You could say something like, hey, everyone, just a heads up. Does anyone have any allergies or special dietary needs I should know about when choosing restaurant?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That way everyone feels included
exactly.
and you can find a place that works for everyone.
It makes life a lot easier.
It does. It really does.
So another helpful tip
Oh,
is to think about transportation,
oh, yeah, especially if you live in a big city.
especially in a big city.
Getting to the restaurant can be a challenge.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, so before you finalize the venue, it's a good idea to check in with your friends about how they plan to get there.
Yeah.
You could say something like, is everyone okay with taking public transport, or would we need to find a place with parking?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Just little things like that can
Yeah.
really make the whole experience
Smoother.
smoother and more enjoyable for everyone.
Yeah, so, even with the best planning, sometimes things don't go exactly as planned.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Life happens.
Yeah, life is full of surprises.
The restaurant might be fully booked.
Or someone might get sick.
Yeah, someone might get sick last minute.
Last minute, exactly.
So what do we do when these unexpected situations pop up?
Well, the key is to be flexible
Okay.
and to have a backup plan.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe you have a second choice restaurant in mind,
Right.
or you're open to changing the date or time
Yeah.
if needed.
So being flexible can really help avoid stress and disappointment if things change.
Absolutely.
Okay, so,
Now, before we wrap up,
okay.
let's talk about a couple of common challenges that come up when you're arranging one of these dinners.
Okay.
One is simply getting everyone to respond.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
It can be tough to pin people down sometimes.
Yeah, it can be tough to get everyone to, confirm their availability.
Yeah, it can be like herding cats. But here's a helpful tip.
I'm listening.
Set a deadline
Okay.
for responses.
Well, that's smart.
You could say, hey, can everyone please let me know by Friday if you can make it? I need to make a reservation.
Right. So that way people know it's important to respond.
Exactly.
Right.
And you don't have to chase people
You
down
don't have to be chasing people
at
down.
the last minute.
I like it.
Another challenge can be, different opinions and preferences. Not everyone's going to agree on the same restaurant or the same cuisine.
Yeah, it's true. That's where polls come in handy.
That is exactly where polls can be really helpful.
Yeah, just give everyone a few options.
Exactly.
Just let them vote
Let them vote.
on their favorite.
Yeah, and remember, you don't have to please everybody all the time.
That's a good point.
Sometimes it's okay to just go with the majority
Yeah.
and, trust that everyone will have a good time.
Yeah, you're just trying to get everyone together,
Exactly.
have a good time.
Yes. About the company,
Right.
not necessarily the food.
So I think we've covered a lot of practical tips,
We have.
strategies in this deep dive.
I think so.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are,
Yeah.
ready to go out there and arrange their own dinner?
I would just say relax, have fun,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Right.
Remember, learning a language is a journey,
It is.
and every conversation is an opportunity to practice and grow.
I love that.
Yeah.
So go out there, use these phrases, and enjoy connecting with friends over a delicious meal.
Yes, absolutely.
And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive
Yes.
and want to hear more helpful English learning tips,
Uh-huh.
make sure to subscribe to our channel.
We have new episodes every week,
We do.
packed with advice and engaging conversations to help you master the English language.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at Kaz English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's KAZAPP.UK for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.